And we are live. Welcome, Mystery and Thriller fans. I'm your on-air host and author, Sara DiVello, and I am so excited to welcome back tonight Lyn Liao Butler, here to give us the inside scoop on her brand new book out now, What Is Mine? Lyn, welcome back to Mystery and Thriller Mavens. Tell us about this book.
I know. Thank you so much for having me back here. So I wrote this book during the pandemic because we were pandemic homeschooling and also fostering dogs. So it's based on, I'll tell you this right later. But anyways, it's about a little boy, a 9-year-old boy and his dog, Mochi, who go missing from his driveway of his aunt's house. And then the search for him kind of brings together two women who are completely different and their lives collide in ways that they never envisioned. And it's just about like the fight for this little boy and what each of them thinks is theirs and why they needed it. So yeah, that's the little pitch.
Yay. Well, I can't wait to get into every detail of this book. And we have a lot to talk about, Lyn.
Yes, we do.
First, I just want to welcome everybody who is watching with us. We are going live to 6 different destinations across Facebook and YouTube. So, hey, mystery and thriller loving friends, no matter where you're watching from, you're in the right place. This is the right time. Thanks for the thumbs up. It is Mystery Monday, and because Mondays can be murder, we're going to make them a little less painful and get your week off to a killer start. So if this is your first time here, welcome. We're so happy to have you here. And if you've been here before, welcome back. So every Mystery Monday, I give you my handpicked featured authors. You get to ask them anything. So ask Lyn about her writing process, her other secret career as a yoga ninja, as an undercover CIA agent, masquerading as a yoga teacher, her dogs, her writing life, anything you want to know, get them going in the comments. I'll get them right over to you. Over to her. Let's jump right in. Renee saying hi, Sara and Lyn from Southeast Florida. Hi, Renee.
I see 2 dogs.
I'm loving that
Yay. Do you see them?
Margaret joining us from the Pacific Northwest said, Lyn Liao Butler, I loved your last appearance. Yay. Welcome, our fellow author, Margaret Bernard. Randy joining us from YouTube saying, hi, Sara. Hi, Lyn. Hi, Randy. Oh, I see we have a kitty.
I know, so cute. So cute.
Very on brand. Renee wants to know how many foster dogs do you have now and how many permanent dogs? Give us the scoop, Lyn.
So we just adopted out number 20 and 21, and we're going to take in number 22 probably at the end of this week, but in Kauai. So we're going to start fostering in Kauai because we just got a place there. So we're going to be now splitting our time between New York and Kauai. Yeah, I know. Can you believe this? And we had 3 dogs. One of them was named Mochi, but last year during 2022, Loki and Mochi both passed away. One of heart failure, the other of cancer. So, and I actually wrote Mochi into What Is Mine by accident. She was only supposed to be a placeholder name because I couldn't think of a name. And I forgot to change it at the final edit. And now I'm so glad I wrote her in because now Mochi is written into the book. And my friend made me this little Mochi. She drew this Mochi sticker, which I was giving away. So if anybody buys the book, let me know. I'll send you a sticker. So my friend made that. Is that
goodness. Cute? Wait, so Mochi, your dog,
yes,
was a foster that you're a failed foster mom and you kept.
She was foster number 9 and our first foster fail. And so I wrote her into the book by accident. Like she was a placeholder and then I never changed it. And now I'm so glad I didn't. So
oh my gosh, foster dog number 9. Oh my God, I love that. You're getting so many hearts and love and love up. Oh my gosh, the best. So and 21, now 22 dogs, Lyn?
So number 20, we're gonna be fostering our 22nd dog at the end of this week. When I get to Kauai on Wednesday, we're gonna go pick up one. Because the shelter in Kauai right now is so overrun. They're like,
oh my God, of course.
Yeah, they're like pleading for help. So we're like, all right, as soon as I get there, we're going to go pick out a foster dog. So stay tuned on my socials. I might end up with 2 because, I'm such a sucker. They're like, well, can you take 2? I'm like, okay. And one time I had 5 dogs at the same time. It was chaotic. So,
oh, Lyn, thank you so much for your beautiful work. So I do a lot of work in rescue as well. And before the pandemic, I would do Yoga is Going to the Dogs fundraiser where we would do downward dogs for the dogs and all the money would go to rescue. So thank you so much for all you do.
How fun.
Sharon saying hi from Minnesota from Facebook. Hi,
Hi.
Sharon. Welcome. Renee is saying she has her two with her, Kane and George. Oh
I
my
see
God.
their pictures. I know they're so cute.
Oh my God. Clearly we are in the right place. And Renee is saying she's so sorry that your two dogs took the
I
journey
know.
over the Rainbow Bridge. Thank you for fostering us. Thank you for fostering. Sharon saying she wants to keep all of them. I totally want to be that lady with like the 22 dogs,
Yeah,
like all on
exactly.
leashes.
At the
I would
same
be that
time,
lady.
right? Yes.
Yes, and oh my gosh. Okay, so Lynn, tell us about how you got this idea for this little boy, Luca, who is living with his auntie Hope and Uncle Sean, and the worst happens. As a mom, is that your worst nightmare? A kid disappears? Like, are you facing your own fears? Did you see this on the news? How did you come up with this idea?
Well, so like I said, we fostered dogs during the pandemic, and my son at the time was 8, and he cried hysterically every time a dog left, to the point where I was like, "Let's stop. We can't do this anymore." This is like he goes, "No, I want to foster and help the doggies." So we kept going, and there was this one couple who loved him so much. Like they were like, "He is like Buddha. Like he's got this light," and they wanted to give the dog back to him. And I was like, no, no, you can't. This this is your dog. So they sent him this giant crate, a giant box of stuffed dog toys to give to his future foster dogs. And they're like, we have an RV and we have a dog and we're gonna take our dog on a trip. And like in my head, I'm like, oh, they're such a nice couple. But then I was like, what if they're not? What if they come back one day and my son is
Ooh.
in the backyard playing with his dog and they because he knows them, he goes with them he says something. And that's where it came from. It was my fear of like, what if this couple came? And they're the nicest couple. They still check in with me. They have no idea that I based this book on them because I basically took what happened and then my thriller brain took over and wrote the story. And at the same time, I was dealing with somebody. So this is a trigger warning that we wanted to give that does mention drug addiction and drug misuse, as my friend who's a social worker tells me, because I was dealing. There were people that I knew who were dealing with that, so I did write that in there. So there is that trigger warning. There is, if you have any content warning, that would be it. But so I was dealing with these two topics, and they kind of merged together into this book, like what the motivation. And my friend who helped me a lot with the the Narcan and all that stuff background, she's like, now I understand the concept. She's like, I didn't understand it when you were using me as research, but now it totally makes sense. So
Oh my, that totally makes sense. So wait, does the real life couple with the RV and the adopted dog know your real name? Could they
oh
read
yeah,
this
yeah,
book and
yes.
be like, "Oh my God, she thinks we're kidnappers"?
No, I think I didn't think that they followed me on social media because I didn't see their name, but somehow she knows because I think she signed up for my newsletter because she texted me when she found out that Mochi or Loki had passed away. And I was like, oh my God, she knows. So I don't know. The book is out. So now let's see what happens. But they are such a nice couple. I love them. Their dog, like the dog is so happy with them. So we'll see. We'll
Yeah,
see what happens.
what indeed? What if they were kidnappers? Your thriller brain kicked in, and so all of a sudden, nothing, not even a dog adopting couple with an RV,
I know it's safe,
is
right?
beyond reproach. An ice cream cone is a vehicle for poison. A
Exactly.
rescue dog is kidnap bait. Anything could
Exactly.
be. Oh my gosh,
Right?
I love it.
That must happen to you too, though.
It does, it does. The other day I was walking my little rescue dog down the street and there was it was trash day, as there were all these trash bags on, people put their trash out, and I saw what I thought was a rolled up rug, and I thought, what if there's a body in there? you, you
See?
never know.
See?
Um, oh my gosh. Oh, Renee wants to know, did you give the copy of the book to the couple? I think you should.
I have not yet, but you know what? I will, and I think I should just warn them that and they're the kind of people that will get a kick out of this. I don't think they'll be offended. They're going to be like, "Oh my God, we're the inspiration." So yeah, I should. I did. So actually, they were the inspiration, but then there's another couple who takes my yoga class, and they were the actual inspiration for the characters of the two characters in the book. And I did acknowledge them in the acknowledgments and gave them a copy of this book because I use them as like the antagonists. So
The art. Okay. So interesting. Lynn, I want to. Oh my goodness. Renee says, I wanted to ask you, Sarah, if your pup found a body. Oh my God, there's a story. A crime solving dog and her
Exactly,
human
who finds the
partner.
body? Yes.
Sherlock could be like pup luck. Oh my God, that would
Yeah.
be so cute. Lynn, I want to talk about some of the praise that your book has earned, because there's so many rave reviews, which is just so great. So let's take a peek first at this from Megan Collins, who's been on the show many times for her books, and she raves. I'm going to pop it up so we can all say it. Unsettling from the very first page. What is Mine is an emotional thrill ride about two women's desperate attempts to keep their families whole. Lynn has packed the story with page-turning suspense, culminating in a grand finale of explosive surprise. Let's talk about that. Lynn, since this isn't your first book, what have you learned in either the journey from book 1 to book 2 about that page turning, as Megan Collins says, explosive surprises, and the art of keeping the reader engaged?
Well, so I think you remember from last time that I'm not a thriller writer. I started off in the book club upmarket fiction space, and I accidentally wrote a thriller last year during the pandemic, from pandemic homeschooling. And like I said, if you saw my episode last time, my editor, which is your editor, right? Don't we have the same editor? Was horrified when I turned in the book, because she was like, this is not a thriller. We don't need emotional journey. We need more, like pacing has to be picked up, get rid of all that emotional stuff. And so I did a crash course. They basically taught me how to write a thriller. So when I came to write this one, I still kept that family drama, what they call domestic suspense in there. There is a lot of family, emotions and stuff. But I learned that, with a thriller, you have to keep the pacing going. You have to keep it guessing. You have to keep going. And there has to be surprises. So yeah, it started off slow, and then they made me rewrite it again. And so I think I'm getting better with each book. So
Mm-hmm. And what have you learned about what really keeps those pages flying?
So like I said, I tend to delve into that emotional journey a lot. So I've got to, you can still talk about it, but it has to keep moving forward. Like one thing leads to another into another thing. You can't. So, and when I read over, I'm like, if I start to feel like a dead air where I'm like lulled, I know that, okay, that has to go, or you need to add something to pick up the pace. And my second part of this, or I think it's in 3 parts, I can't remember. It kind of got more and more, and I kept building it up. And at the end, I wanted to add one last final thing. And my editor was like, yes, go for it. So I've learned that it's okay to add like last, twist or last whatever surprise.
I love that. Margaret saying, quote, "We don't need an emotional journey." Same, Piglet. Same. Renee wants to clarify, did your editor give you the crash course, or did you take a class, like an actual course?
No, I didn't take a class. I handed in I had 6 weeks to write the book. I handed in, she looked at it. She was like, okay, you need a developmental editor. So they hired me a developmental editor. And then I had 2.5 weeks to literally turn the entire book around. And so the developmental editor and my editor gave me, long page edit letters about where they think is good and where they think I need to pick up tension. They wanted me to throw out a third of it. So yeah, they helped me. So
Oh my God, 2.5 weeks. I'm sweating. I'm
I know.
actually having anxiety. Oh
Yeah,
my God.
it was right. This is for someone else's side. This is the first thriller. I had 2.5
Okay.
weeks right before Christmas. But then for this book, I think I had a little longer. I think I had 4 weeks.
Oh my God. Renee is saying 6 weeks to write the whole book. That's crazy. Renee, I was like, wait, am I hallucinating? What's happening? Oh my God. Totally.
Yes.
Well, the book is out now, y'all. It just came out on Tuesday. It's been out for 6 whole days,
I
the
know.
baby book. And you can order your copy here from our favorite woman-owned independent copy. I'm sorry, order your own copy here from our woman-owned independent bookstore. That is, of course, Murder by the Book. So here is where you can order your copy. Yay! Thanks for all the hearts, you guys. Lynn, let's talk about some more of these reviews. Don Bentley.
Well, I love him. He's such a great writer and such a great person too.
Such a lovely guy. He came on to give us the inside scoop on his last book, The Forgotten War, and he has these words to say about yours. He said, "This is Lyn Liao Butler at her very best. This twisty page turner plays on every parent's darkest fears by evoking a scenario in which nothing is as it seems and no one can be trusted. In the crowded field of domestic thrillers, Butler delivers. If Bentley says Butler delivers, Butler delivers." Congratulations on that rave review. Is that something that you worry about a lot? Was this a way of addressing your fears?
Well, I'm always think because I'm kind of a mother late in life. Like early, late 30s, early 40s. So I have this like the other day, not the other day, about 2 years ago, there was a snowstorm. It was around this time, and the bus didn't show up. It had like crashed or something because it slid down a hill. There were no kids in it yet, but it didn't show up. And I'm sitting in my car in the driveway. I'm like, I have to go. I have to leave. I have to go teach a class. And the bus, I was like, I didn't know what to do with my child. And all of a sudden, this woman pulls up with a car full of kids. And she's like, "Oh, the bus isn't coming. Do you want me to take your child?" I'm like, "Yes, please. Here, go. Lakin, like, go with him." And I say goodbye and I drive off. And then I'm like, halfway, I'm like, what did I just do? I don't know this woman. I don't know who she is. I just gave my child to this like unknown person because there were kids in her car. And I flipped out and I called the school. I was like, "I just gave my child to a woman I don't know. Can you please call me and let me know if my child gets to school?" And they're like, "We'll go right now. We'll go find him." Like,
oh my God, Lyn.
so now I'm like, so it's like, you as a mother, sometimes you do things, right? Like you don't think about it at the time. All I saw was kind woman saving my life, car full of kids, must be safe. Let me just give her my child and drive to work.
Oh my God, that is a bold maneuver.
I know. So now, so it's like these things that, and just like a lot of people say, like, I just let go of my child's hand for a second and then they disappeared. So it is
Yeah.
like your worst nightmares. Yeah. So I kind of take that and then write out my fears, like, and, see what could happen. So
I think about yeah, it's interesting because like, I think about things that I have done
yeah,
and in my own life, and I look back and think, how did I survive that? Like I was
right.
on spring break with my college roommate in the Bahamas and accepted a ride from total strangers and
Oh
then got
yeah.
in the car and thought, oh my God, I could hear the Dateline voice being like, and then,
Right.
the young women got in the car and were never seen again. I was like, why did we get in this car? Thank God we were fine.
Exactly. Good.
Like, yikes. I think about all of the things, oh my God, it's kind of amazing we survived. Melissa joining us from Australia. Welcome to the
Ooh,
conversation. Look at that little
and
cute.
a dog too. Yay.
Oh
I
my God.
always have a dog in my books. I think every single book I've written so far has a dog in it or a cat, something. So,
Oh my gosh. What kind of yoga do you practice, Lyn? Tell us about the yoga.
it's mostly vinyasa flow, is what I was trained in and what I do. I like to do, so I'm also a fitness and yoga instructor and a personal trainer. And I really believe in the whole rep. You have to be well-rounded, just do everything. You can't just do yoga or just do cardio or just do strength training. I really believe as we get, and I don't do it to look good or anything. I do it because if I want to live to be 90 or 100 years old, I want to be able to get off the toilet by myself and walk to the grocery store, right? I don't want to be the I fall in and I can't get up person. I want to be independent, be able to brush my own teeth. And it gets harder as our bodies, get older. And if we don't stretch or we don't keep it strong, we don't keep our heart healthy, something like COVID could just wipe us out, right? So that's why I do it. And I don't know if you know this, but I still do my Instagram live workouts. And I encourage all my writer friends to join it. It's only half an hour. I do it once a week, unless I'm traveling, I do more. And I always just get people like, just get up and move. So,
Yes, exactly. Get up and move. That's what we have to do.
yeah.
Exactly. Renee's saying, right, Sarah? Exactly, Renee.
I mean,
We
like,
get it.
seriously,
We get
right?
it.
Don't you want to get off the toilet by yourself?
I really do. I want to get
Yeah.
off the toilet by myself.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Robin, welcome to the conversation. She says she's late, but she was digging in her library for a large book. Oh my
Ooh,
goodness. Perfect. Clearly among friends here. Welcome to the conversation, Robin.
book
Um,
friends.
Yay! And Lynn, I want to remind everybody that the book is out now. Oh, welcome to the conversation, Chris, joining us from YouTube, saying, I love this lovely lady. Yay! Well, we're so happy you're here, Chris. Welcome to the conversation. Okay, so you guys, the book is out now. So here again is that link to order Lynn's book. And
Yeah, and if you already ordered it and you want a mochi sticker, let me know. You can reach me anywhere on socials or my website, and I'll send you a mochi sticker.
Oh my gosh, a fun Mochi sticker. Now we know the backstory of Mochi the dog. That's so perfect.
I know, and she lives on in my book, so.
So will we see more Mochi in your upcoming books, Lynn?
No, I only wrote her into this one, so she's only in this book, but.
Okay. It would be fun if Mochi kept making appearances.
I know. Well, I think I'm going to write my other dogs in now.
Oh my God, that's so
Loki
cute.
and Tino, they're all going to make little cameos now, so.
Oh my gosh, I love that. They keep popping up. It's like a Where's Waldo of Lynn's
exactly.
dog. Hank Philby Ryan said relentlessly suspenseful, and heartbreakingly chilling Butler's stealthy, diabolical storytelling and her brilliant sleight of hand kept me guessing from page 1. Then rocket ahead to places readers will never predict. So I want to pause there and then I want to read the rest of it. Lynn, are you a plotter or a pantser? Did you predict the story or did the story emerge?
I used to be a pantser and that didn't work. So I became a plotter, and I've been a plotter up till this book, What Is Mine. So this was completely plotted. Like I knew what was going to happen. Well, actually I didn't know what was going to happen. I knew the gist of what was going to happen. And then my editor and I wanted the twist to happen one way. And she was like, I think it's more believable this way. And so we played around with it. And so the ending ended up changing because it wasn't quite the way I had it originally. And we did. And I like to leave things up in the air, but my editor was like, I think we need to a little bit closure so that the reader's not like, what happened? So yeah, and I think it's more satisfying that way because people can make their own assumption as but there is closure. So I didn't just leave it open-ended. So yeah.
Chris is here for the doggy cameo. Same Chris.
Yes.
How often do you plan to be spending time in Hawaii?
So I'm going there now for about 5 weeks, and then I'm flying directly to Chicago. I got invited to a conference that I'm teaching at and speaking at, so that I'm flying directly there. But I guess, we have an 11-year-old son. It's a little hard, but my husband he was an FDNY firefighter in New York City, and he retired last year. So between the two of us, I think we're just going to split our time. Like he'll go for a little bit, I'll come back. And then like the way we did it this time is he went for 2 weeks. I'm flying in this Wednesday with our son. He'll stay for 3 weeks. So he'll miss like 8 days of school because it's their winter break. And then my husband and son will fly home. I'll stay there for a writing retreat and then go to Chicago. And then, yeah. So.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Laurel's joining us from YouTube, from Facebook saying, hello, Sarah. Nice to meet you, Lynn. Hi, Laurel. Welcome to the conversation. So good to have you here. I'm just making sure I'm missing anybody's comments. Lynn, can you tell us what you're working on next?
So I finished while this book was done. I finished writing another upmarket book. It's kind of set dual timeline POV, present day, and 1950s, 1960s Taiwan. And it's called The Fourth Daughter, and it's about a woman whose 18-month baby was stolen from her by her husband when she was born back in the 1950s. It's very common in Taiwan then. And so she never saw her daughter again. And she thinks now in present day at 76, she thinks she sees her daughter in Taiwan and calls her granddaughter in New York and asks her to fly to help her find this daughter. And through the telling, the granddaughter finds out that, this is common practice back in Taiwan. They would adopt out babies to other families to be raised as future daughter-in-laws to marry their infant son. And it's set during the White Terror, the martial law period of Taiwan history, which a lot of people don't know about. And the protagonist, the protagonist doesn't know much about. And so she finds out about her grandmother's past while also figuring out her own life. So it's done. I finished writing it. It doesn't have a home yet. So hopefully it does, because I think it's the best book I've written so far. I feel like I get better a little bit each one. Like I feel like someone else's life got worse because it was my first thriller, so it wasn't very good. But but then I think What Is Mine got a little better, and now this one is really like I really love this book, so I hope it finds a home. But I also read another thriller about 5 book influencers who are have a virtual book club, and one of them gets killed while they're on the Zoom call while the others hear it.
Oh
And then
my
they
God.
figure out who it was and why she was killed.
Oh my God, Lynn, that is a dark thriller mind.
I know, right?
Remind me not to be on a Zoom with Lynn.
I know, I know, right? It's like,
Because I want to live. Oh my
but
goodness.
do you know where I got the idea? I was invited to a book club and I logged in, and this woman was going on and on about how she hasn't read a good book lately and how every book she's read sucked and that they're so boring. Is it really that hard to ask someone to write a good book? And meanwhile, I'm logged on, staring at her going, you just invited me on, so you're telling me my book sucks?
Oh, so you were picturing yourself as the killer.
No, well, so then I was invited to another Hank's, Philip P. Ryan's, I think it was one of her things, and it was a book club, and I was saying, they're like, where do you get your ideas? And I was telling them the story. They're like, oh, imagine we're all on the Zoom call and then our videos go off. And I was like, I'm telling them this, and the videos go off, and I can hear you guys, but I can't see you. And then one of you gets killed, and they're like, oh my God, we would love to read that. I'm like, oh, I should write that.
Oh my God, I love it. You're getting so many hearts up on Facebook. Margaret says, killed on a Zoom call. OMG. Renee says, Lynn, your mind sounds very busy. I know. Lynn has to go meditate now. She's got to zen it down.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. Chris wants to know, Lynn, are you a fan of Amy Tan? I love the generation references in Chinese history, especially of mother-daughter relationships.
Yes, I love her books. I've read all her books, and she's like kind of like trailblazed it for us. And I'm hoping more people want to read about this because one of the comments I've heard is that nobody wants to hear about Taiwanese history or something. And I'm like, I think
who said that? I want to hear about Taiwanese history.
Thank you. I'm like, and especially because even as a Taiwanese American, I didn't know a lot about it until I started doing research for another book that I helped somebody write. So I hope that people will be more interested in the whole mother-daughter, granddaughter, and also what other generations that we don't even know what these people went through. It was a horrible time in Chinese history. So Taiwanese history and Chinese history. So I hope to be able to share more. Like I have too many ideas in my head because I also have a second novel to go with that one. It's a standalone, but in the same world, I've already written 30,000 words of. So
I think Renee's right. You have a very busy mind. Wow. Just like germinating ideas. Yeah. And I think I love books about so many different cultures so that I can learn and experience and read. And, I learned a lot about China, the effects of China's one child policy and Jean Kwok's The Leftover Woman.
Yep.
I learned a lot about intergenerational relationships of Indian women in Dr. Samya Dave's Well-Behaved Indian Women.
Yep,
I love, to Chris's point, intergenerational mother-daughter relationships, and especially about different cultures. Oh my God, Robin saying, remember the shadow behind Sara? Yes, I do. Speaking of the Zoom call, I was interviewing who was I interviewing?
I can imagine this already.
Oh no, 2 weeks ago, I was interviewing Kemper Donovan, who hosts the All About Agatha podcast, and my husband, who has been forbidden to enter the interview space, walked across the space between me and the light, and this terrifying shadow, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, you're about to get murdered!"
Yes, see, you don't know, and I think it's very relevant now because there's so many Zoom calls, right, and people on air like this.
Yeah, exactly. I love that idea. Renee's saying it sounds interesting to me. Absolutely, Renee. You and me were vibing. Margaret said she just came back from Din Tay.
That's my favorite. Oh my God, that they don't have this on the East Coast, and they need to bring one over here.
What is this? Tell us.
It's this big Taiwanese chain, a dim sum, but it's like not just dim sum. It's like it's so good. It's like real Taiwanese food. And they started in Taiwan, and it's on the West Coast now, and I think they made it into Texas, and we're still waiting for it to come to the East Coast because every time I go to California, I tell my sister we have to go there like 2-3 times. Like it's so good.
Oh my God, I have to
You
have
have to
that.
try it. It's so good if you go. It's like real good Taiwanese food.
Nom, 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 nom. Yes, I would nom, 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 all that up.
I'm so jealous.
Renee says, keep writing, Lynn.
Well,
Absolutely.
I can keep writing, but let's hope somebody keeps buying so that like the publishers keep buying so that they can be books, you know?
Ooh, Robin says she wants to hear about Taiwanese history. She spent a few days in
Oh, yeah.
Taipei in January of 1977, just a few years ago. Oh my God, that's so cool. We want to hear about that, Robin.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Renee saying sounds so yummy. I know now we all want to eat Chinese food because or Taiwanese food 'cause this just sounds amazing.
So good.
Amazing. Oh my gosh, you guys, we're out of time. Time flies when you're having this much fun. We should, oh my gosh, we should have matched pairings of food and wine for
I
these
know,
interviews.
right?
I'm now having this idea. Y'all, don't forget to order Lyn's book. Here again is that link. Hold it up, Lynn. Don't be shy. And yay, we're toward the center.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, damn it.
Like,
Yeah, here we are.
ask your library to get it or leave reviews on Amazon. That all helps us. So thank you.
Yes. Yay, everybody. All right. That is a wrap. Lynn, happy writing. Have a fabulous time in Hawaii.
Thank you.
Y'all go get a snack and a drink. I'll be back at the top of the hour with Iris Yamashita. If you're a fan of True
Yay.
Detective season 4, you like the darkness, you like Alaska, you're not going to want to miss this.